Hey everybody, I'm Dale Earnhardt Jr. and this is the Dirty 30. The best highlights from all of our podcasts this week. 30 minutes every single Friday. The Dirty 30 coming at you. Let's get right to it. Jeff Gluck on the teardown was talking about there may be too many road courses. A lot of people responded to the social media posts. Don't get rid of road courses because SVG's dominating. Just go out there and get better. That's not what Jeff Gluck was saying.
No, it's not.
Nobody's mad. Nobody wants to get rid of, listen to this. This is really important. Nobody wants to get rid of road courses because SVG's great. If I was Trackhouse and anybody that worked there, I'd want more road courses.
Let's run 20 of them.
Yeah, man, I'm going to win. I want 12. So nobody's wanting to get rid of road courses because SVG is great. I look forward to going to road courses to see if he can be beat. What I think is Gluck's point is that the car struggles at road courses. It has since it's came in. As I've said in the past, this is this car has a lot of sports car and IMSA V8 supercar technology. With the underbody aero, independent rear suspension, all kinds of things, bigger tire, big brakes, and it does everything that our old car did way better. Stops better, just all these things better. But because I think mostly because of the aero, the car just doesn't race very well on a road course. And it races like a sports car or like IndyCar. It races the way those cars race, but we expect those cars to race that way because that's how they have raced for decades. In NASCAR, we expect more passing. We expect lots of passing. We expect lots of battles. We expect a faster car to be able to overtake with no problem. We expect contact. We expect door-to-door. That's our expectation because of the last 75 years of what we've seen. And so when we come up on a road course now and we don't see what we expect, we're not willing to allow this type of product to be normalized, or we hope, right, that this won't be normalized. And so I think Jeff Gluck's just saying, why don't we dial back the road courses? Same reason why maybe a lot of people are calling for the Roval to go away and the oval at Charlotte to be back to 2 races. Well, the people are asking for that because the Charlotte race is one of the best races of the year. The car performs well on the 1.5 miles, so why not get rid of the Roval? We would if you're going to Charlotte at the end of the year, you pick A or B. What do you think people are picking? They're picking the oval. No, nobody's going, man, give me that Roval. They want the oval right now. Right now, that's what they want. Maybe in 10 years, this car's amazing on road courses and we want more road courses back. The great thing about it is we can have that. We can do that. The series and the schedule and everything can ebb and flow as according to how the supply and demand, right? There was a demand for less 1.5 miles. We went to more road courses. We steadily went away from short tracks. We got a short track back in North Wilkesboro.
4 road courses. What are they for you?
Sorry?
We could run 4 road courses
4?
next year. What are we picking?
Well, I wanted to say that my opinion on how many road courses we should have is going to be in the minority. I know that the way I feel about it is probably only about what 10% of the fan base thinks. I like 2 road courses. I like Sonoma. I like Watkins Glen.
Traditional.
Yep. Our identity was ovals. Our identity was short tracks. It was Daytona. It was Charlotte, Atlanta. That was what NASCAR was. And Richard Petty will tell you, road racing really, road courses really wasn't what NASCAR was about. And now I know that that's the minority, so that's why I don't really talk about it too much, and I don't go on social media because I know that's not realistic in the environment we have today. There's a whole generation or two of race fans below that have come into the sport since I've been around that may want something different, that make up a large majority of our fan base. I realize I'm 50 years old. And there's a lot of 40, 30, 20 teenage kids that are big fans of the sport now that make up a huge part of the fan base that may want something different. And they don't look at NASCAR the way I look at it. They look at it and they see in a different identity. They see a different history. They see a different sort of...
It's all they know.
Yeah. And so that, I'm understanding that, my personal opinion may not be that popular, but I'm okay with 4.
Obviously, we've all seen the clip with Kyle saying the car is producing.
The car is good.
Which,
yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I really, really respect Kyle. Think the world of him. And I appreciate his opinion, but I would just disagree that the car doesn't produce what I expect. Again, going back to 75 years, I know Kyle's been around a long time. The car doesn't produce the kind of racing that I know we are capable of at road courses and short tracks. The car does not produce the type of racing that I think should be our standard, and I know what we're capable of at road courses and short tracks. And I would not stop at trying to achieve amazing, great racing at those style of tracks until we achieved it. I wouldn't stop trying to get there. And I don't think we're there. And I think it's mainly due to the race car, right?
So in your opinion, what is the ratio? Like, I think it's more car dependent now than it's ever been. Yeah. I think when we do have races where the driver means more, they're better races. Like the Bristol race with Tire, driver came into play more.
Yeah.
To me, the racing got better because there was so much stuff going on.
There's some racetracks where the underbody aero is problematic. There's just some racetracks where the way this car is in dirty air creates problems for the drivers. They can't, like, to your point, we go to Bristol, right? I want to see a guy, if a driver wants to go down into the corner and run into the back of somebody in the middle of the corner and move them up track, I want them to be able to do that.
You can't now.
They can't do it. And so in most cases, when they try to drive down in there and get behind that guy and get to his rear bumper, they lose all that air and the underbody can't get the downforce and they lose all the grip and they go up the racetrack. And so they have to run offset and they can't run behind each other. I don't like that. I don't love it. I don't want it.
And I don't think, like, watching these guys, like, to me, the car is majority of the car is majority of the equation on who runs really good. It's not that this guy is just a way better driver. And then nothing again. These guys are all really good drivers, but
at most of the tracks where we're having these challenges, all the passing happens on restarts.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's minimal passing after the field sort of organizes post restart. We get about 2 or 3 laps of good battles and action. And so a lot of people in our industry are like, well, we just need more restarts. No, that's not the answer. We need a car that can overtake at lap 15, lap 20, lap 25, not get aero tight and so air deficient behind a slow car. As vice president of competition, you're in charge of rule enforcement, among other things, I'm sure. How is managing the integrity of the sport while also managing the respect relationship, the friendships that you still had in the garage? How tough was that?
It was tough, but you have to pull yourself back, and sometimes you got to make sure it's more black and white. You got to, penalties got to increase. We were getting pressure from upper management, clean some of this stuff up.
Yeah.
And that's points is how you do it. Money doesn't mean anything to anybody.
No.
Shame to say, but it's about the points. And some of the stuff is when it's pretty blatant, There's cheating to just go fast, and then there's cheating to compromise the integrity of a car or something. And those are dangerous.
When y'all find out and discover that something like that has happened under your watch, I imagine you go through a range of emotions.
Yeah.
Of angry, but also at the same time, like almost dumbfounded, like how.
Yeah.
How
There's
could
those
you,
what the moments.
How could you
you're
be
sitting
so...
up in the. Yeah, you're sitting up in the office, with and it was always Mike and I in the office, sitting up in the office, and they come and they get you and go, "Oh Jesus sakes!"
Yeah.
The big one was at Richmond.
What was it, Richmond?
Richmond was the race fixing thing.
Oh yeah.
Scratch. You got to itch. You got to scratch your elbow. You got to.
Oh yeah. I was right behind him when he spun himself out.
Yeah. That was tough.
I knew what happened, but everybody did.
Yeah. I mean, they're parking. They're bringing cars in, and they're working the system on that with Brian.
Vickers,
And they're doing all that, and so it was. You kind of didn't see it from the tower.
No, you wouldn't have known it was happening in real time.
Right.
But all the radio communication, all that stuff comes out.
And what people don't understand is we record every radio transmission from every team.
Damn. To have it.
Yeah, I'm talking 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? So that's the race that's the cutoff. Mm-hmm. So I leave out of there about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to ride home all night, dodge the deer or whatever it takes. So about 10 o'clock in the morning, the phone rings, and it's Mike Helton. I said, you okay? He said, yeah. I said, what's going on? What's going on? He goes, we got frickin' trouble. I said, what? Well, when the 15 spun and this happened, and we got to do an investigation. I said, oh, okay. So Chicago was the big week, media week, and this, that, and the other. I said, all right, well, when do you want, what do you think? He's like, go up, you got to get there, go Monday. So Monday at 9 or 10 o'clock, I'm in a airplane going to Chicago. I think I was by myself. They just put me up there. So I was in a room bigger than this room that they rented for me. And the TV people came in and they replayed stuff. I was in that room for 8 or 10 hours the first day and probably 16 the second day. I didn't go to anything. I ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner in that room. Listened to all the radio transmissions, all that stuff.
By yourself? With who?
Yeah, I was by myself, and some of the guys would come in from the network, and they, give me a hand with whatever.
Right.
And Hoots,
so you're
Hoots
the one
came
doing
up.
The investigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Hoots too. Yeah.
Hoots came in, helped, and it's like, oh my God, and you put this thing together. Well, what they didn't, so now you're like fixing a race, but what they didn't understand, and there's no reason for them to understand it, we're right in the middle of negotiations for FanDuel and betting on games and whatever.
Oh,
right?
That's a big problem.
It's the worst thing you could do at the worst time.
Sure.
So it was going to be freaking monstrous huge.
Yeah.
So
did that torpedo that?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Didn't help, but
So you come to the conclusion of what happened.
Yeah.
Who makes the decision to add Jeff into the playoffs?
No decision was ever made by one person.
Oh,
for good reasons.
Yeah.
One may have a bigger voice.
Sure.
Right, and it's good for your sanity.
Sure.
For a lot of reasons, right? But
all that decision, like to pull one out and put one in, whatever.
We pulled some out. We wind up with one extra guy.
Yeah.
With Jeff, and then you went to 4 races or whatever it was in those days, and you did your elimination back down to whatever.
Yeah.
It was kind of no harm, no foul. He wasn't having one of his better years.
Sure.
I think his back was bothering him and stuff. But that was a decision by a few people.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, right, wrong, or indifferent, behind us, but it was one of them. What a frickin' week that was.
You coined the term "boys have at
Oh
it,"
my God! Yeah,
or "have at it, boys," in 2010 during a preseason media tour.
So it's the end of the media tour. We're wrapping up. All the drivers are there and owners or whatever, most of them. So we were upstairs in a conference room, and it's Brian, Mike. There's a couple others in there, and Brian's like, he's like, we're getting beat up. It's too sterile. It's too, Jimmy Johnson was the cleanest guy ever, right?
Yeah,
and it's
vanilla.
like, it's getting too sterile. We gotta quit doing something. How do we do this? I said, I don't know. He's like, well, I was the closing remarks.
Yes.
Nothing on paper. I was like, hey,
Get
hope
up there
you
and
guys had a
finish it
great off season.
Yeah.
Go get them,
Yeah.
yay team. So he says, look, we gotta, you gotta say something.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm a mother. I go down, I leave that and go down, and I'm the last guy, and there's, others talking. I get up there. I don't even remember anything that I said leading up to it.
Sure.
I was in a daze.
I believe it.
Reciting, thinking. And, I said, hey, whatever, guys, we've been holding you close and this, that, and the other. So,
Turning you loose.
boys, have at it. Have a good time.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I walked off stage.
And that just exploded.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes in a good way and sometimes in a bad.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It was crazy.
I want to know about the great innovation around winning at Watkins Glen.
Oh, God.
You had a fast race car. Kyle had drove for the Wood Brothers,
Yeah.
and, he'd been in different teams and cars, but I don't know that we really gave Kyle's ability a ton of credit
Right.
until the Sabco deal.
Yeah.
But talk about the win at the Glen and how you made
So
that
we
happen.
go up there testing.
Mm-hmm.
We're running. I can't get through this. I can't do this. I need to run wide open. There's no reason to not run wide open. So I'm like, okay. So they're putting up garage doors in the building before it was just open.
Right.
And I see all this freaking boxes down there. So I said, all right. So I go cut these 4-inch wide strips, and they're like a 3/16 thick, almost a quarter, whatever. And I went and did the whole valance. If you look at the picture of that car, it had a valance. Those days it had a valance on. So I widened I did the whole thing wider. I just taped it on there, duct tape. He goes out and runs. He's like, oh, man. He said, you didn't believe it's better. I said, okay, go get more cardboard. And I tape it on, and we go. I mean, we were literally 4 inches more wide. I mean, it was out there.
Yeah.
And he's like, he just mad it from turn 2 up to the S's. It was so good. You get up to the chicane. A lot of times he just pushed the clutch in and never let the clutch out and coast through the chicane and then third gear or whatever and off and go. He's like, that's perfect. He's like, it's good. So we get all that done. Worked harder on that than springs and shocks. That made the springs and shocks good, whatever they were. So we got back home. It's like, okay, smart ass, now what are you going to do? You got cardboard all over this thing. So I knew of a company in Florida that did fiberglass work. We cut the whole nose off. I put little brother Roman in a pickup truck with its nose and this. I think it was Harry's glass. And he drives to Jacksonville or whatever it was. And I said, make a mold, do this. They made a whole new nose for us. Right?
Yeah.
In a week. Bring it back, put it on, put the ducks in it and all this other stuff. And then the ducks were so big, it said, one time I had a quote, it said we only had GP on it, but it was G-PRIX,
Yeah.
right? So it wasn't Grand Prix.
Right.
So somebody was bitching me. I'm like, we're hauling ass. And, if Kyle's hauling ass, there's something wrong, right? It's one of them things in practice.
Yeah.
And so they come over and they're like, they get a tape measure out and measure the valence because of the GP on there. They thought that the nose was narrow because back then everybody just narrowed stuff up and whatever. And they're like, yeah, this thing ain't narrow. Jeez, walk away. So it was freaking cheated up, right?
Oh yeah.
And it was good.
Monday is Bunko Day for me. The theme this week was Redneck America. Every month there's a theme, and this week it was Redneck America, so it was perfect for the party barn, and everybody's dressed up in their flannels and their cutoffs. And I don't really have a lot of American flag or red, white, and blue clothing to like add flair to my outfit, and so I had on some ripped jeans and a white tank top and an orange bra because like it's kind of rednecky to like have your bra really stand out.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Through
not,
your shirt.
Yeah.
I did some Googling, so like those are kind of standard images I saw.
Yeah.
But before I left the house, I asked Dale to sign my boob so that I really had that extra like oomph to my outfit.
Yeah.
And he looks at me like, I can't believe she just asked me to do that. But I'm intrigued. And so like, I'm like, I know you've done this before.
Yeah, it's not the first
We've
time.
talked about it.
Yeah.
Just get a Sharpie right before I leave, and I want you to sign my cleavage. And so he was very excited about it, signed it very large. And then throughout the night, like I ended up putting my flannel over because I just got embarrassed as to what I had done.
You went there without you were.
I went.
What, you kind of got
I
cold
kind of
feet?
got chickened out. I mean, everybody that I knew, they all saw it.
Oh.
But you know, like we're not partying hard. We're playing our game, and I don't need my boobs hanging out over the dice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The girls don't care about that. So I ended up with my flannel on, and it got all over the inside of my shirt. But I know that you've signed some boobs before, which is why I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So
Surely back in like the day of the race tracking, there was a lot
the
of
race
titties signed.
tracking. Back when we were race tracking.
Back when you're race tracking.
Yeah. So my
Are you okay?
yeah. It's yeah. So
I could
Which
hear,
story
I could
can I
hear
tell
the
her?
nerves in the
Yeah.
voice.
this takes me back to so when you're 15, 16, 17, all the way up to about 20, 21. And I'm not sure what it's like in a I don't know what it's like for women, but man, when you're in racing, you're around your dad, you're around his buddies, and there's always sort of some hazing going on. They're always like they always are trying to throw you into situations that'll make you uncomfortable, that they know will make you uncomfortable. I remember I think for my 18th or 21st birthday, one of them two, they had a lady cop show up to the shop.
Just like the Days of Thunder?
At the Deerhead shop, yes. So at the
Really?
Deerhead shop, which a lot of Earnhardt fans will know about the Deerhead shop. So I was working in the Deerhead shop and dressed in I had black work pants, had a white Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, Dale Jr. shirt. I mean, I was all about it. And I was racing probably late models around this time. I don't know. I was young, but it was an important birthday, 21, 18, something like that. And they had a lady cop come in there, and
A lady cop.
yeah, and set me down in a chair right in the middle of the floor in front of everybody. So that was one that was.
You were sitting in a chair?
They set me in a chair just like this.
And then what happened?
She stripped.
You said you signed titties.
Wait,
you didn't say she
that's-
was stripping.
No, that's not the titty story. I'm just setting up the titty story.
Oh gosh.
So that was
that sounds like a Days of Thunder.
it was
movie
it was
moment.
very Days of Thunder like. It was
Yeah.
a setup, and it was really embarrassing. And all the guys, because they're laughing,
Yeah.
right? Because they see me, I'm turning red as crap.
And the girl is okay with the clown show happening. She's not embarrassed
they're-
herself.
No, she's in on it. She knows. She must know that this is going on, and she I don't know, man. She's what she does.
Did you get a picture with her?
I have pictures of this event.
So yes, and I
Not
cannot
like-
freaking
I'm not
wait
like,
to see what
not
this
like
looks
me
like.
and her like hey, let's grab a photo. I have a couple pictures of it happening, and they're terrible. They're like a little 5x8, and they're kind
Yeah, I
of
still wanna
blurry.
see.
But yeah, but you'll be able to see it.
We're gonna need those
I mean, she
pictures.
didn't get naked. She just kind of had a little dance, but it was so embarrassing and awkward. And then, so so like Tony Sr. and Dad's buddies, you know, they would kind of put you in these scenarios that were awkward like that. And we were racing somewhere. This was 97, 98, right at the front end of racing with Tony Sr. and Tony Jr. and them guys.
Yeah.
And there was a lady that was excited about meeting me or meeting in Earnhardt of any kind.
He's being so careful. He's like, oh God.
And she asked for me. I was in my hotel room and they knocked on my door. It was 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, and they were all out coming back and forth from dinner or whatever. And there was race, a race fan there or whatever lady. And they were like, hey, this knocking on the door, Dale. I opened the door and there's a lady standing there. She's older than me, but not a ton. But and they're like, she wanted to meet you so bad. She's a big fan of yours. And she just pulled her shirt down.
She just took her titties out?
Yes.
Not like signing your cleavage like at the racetrack, tastefully in front of other people.
They laughed, and she was laughing. They all thought it was hilarious.
What a hooker!
Yeah.
Did she get Did she get it tattooed on her boob?
I don't know.
I mean, stuff like that's happened too. I know.
So I felt it was awkward.
I bet it was.
And
yeah, what do you do there?
Yeah, what do you do?
What do you do?
Right? Yeah, and what's the end game there, right? You you sign it and you're like, okay, I'm gonna close my door now. Goodbye. Yeah, like it was weird, but and they laughed and they just thought it was hilarious.
I can hear
the look on my face and they knew I was feeling uncomfortable.
I can hear them cackling.
Yes,
Their laugh
and
is-
she was she was all about it. She thought it was hilarious, but the
Have you signed any children?
No, we did that. I think there was something that happened in Talladega Nights during one of the things.
I know they always kind of exexaggerated all the things.
I
but
found
just
some
curious.
prosthetic limbs, so I was at Indianapolis and a guy walked up and asked me to sign his leg, and he pulled it off, and it had all kinds of.
It wasn't awkward till he pulled it off.
It had well, you could tell he was. It was fine. He had all kinds of stickers and things on it. He was a race fan. Big his prosthetic. Maybe that was like his race leg. To wear that to the racetrack.
That was his flare leg.
Yeah. So it was. I always like doing that kind of stuff. I don't mind that. People do ask you and have asked me to sign skin, and there's not a pen that writes on skin well. And sometimes it's some kid that just has nothing else, and they're like, just sign my hand or whatever,
Yeah.
And that's going to wash off, and they know that, and they don't care. Then there's other people that are like, sign it, I'm going to get it tattooed.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Don't do this.
man, I don't think
don't
that's a
need to
great
do this.
idea, but if you really are going to do that, why don't I write it on a white piece of paper where it looks good, take it to your artist, have them put that, because when I try to sign skin, it just
Well, half the time it's not totally dry. There's
but
a
it
little
just
sweat
doesn't
involved.
write good. It doesn't. It's
No.
like the worst. It's like some of my worst autographs.
You
are
did
on,
pretty
like,
good on me
shirt-
the other day. You did.
Well, it's important for the surface to be firm and no, I'm kidding.
It took his time. That's why.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
It took his time. That's why.
You're right.
Yeah, he did take his
You're
time.
right. Check out Dirty Mo Media on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok.